Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tarnation TV's broadcast here on ASR Superspeedway Series on Sunday, August the 10th, 2025 already. Holy moly. My name is Blaine Donovan, and I am joined here with a few people, actually, but I'll throw it to Rod Weston. How you doing, buddy? Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't been here for a few days. My own racing kind of career gets in the way, but back to the Superspeedway racing. I like to broadcast this, not like to race it, as I always say, but these guys put on a great show. It's a great thing to watch, and I think I'm going to see if we can get Brian Wolf to tell us a little bit about tonight's event. Brian, you there?
I am here. In fact, I just sat down today. Guys, thanks for having me, and thanks for being here, Blaine and Rod. This is going to be a fun night of racing. We did want to start off tonight's broadcast. We're going to take a few extra minutes here and talk about something that's been going on in the sim community here for the last week or so. As you may or may not know, a lot of folks in the sim community now know that we lost one of the greats this past week. Dave Cannon from Rolling Thunder Gaming passed away, sadly, Thursday morning. And the tributes in that from the broadcast races that have taken place over the weekend have just been tremendous. It's been kind of a somber feeling, throughout this weekend's events without him. And we wanted to, ASR, All-Star Racing League, collectively, wanted to just send out our heartfelt condolences, our most sincere condolences, not just to his family, but to all of his brothers over at Rolling Thunder. Dave was just from what I know of Dave, I had a personal relationship with him 6 or 7 years ago, on and off the racetrack, actually. Many a nights we sat up talking politics and just stuff about life and that. And we played golf on Sunday mornings. And, Dave was just a special guy. He's one of the pioneers, actually, of organized league racing in our hobby. They started Rolling Thunder Gaming probably over 22 years ago, something like that. I don't know really the entire history, but Dave was just such a great guy. And I said, I put in the chat room, I've been getting a lot of comments on this actually, but it's true. If there were a sim racing Mount Rushmore, Dave Cannon would be on it. Like I said, he's just one of the pioneers, and he actually, we have him to thank, not just for being such a big part of this community and contributor to the sim racing, but he was one of the ones that came up with their Thursday night Talladega Challenge series, where they run Talladega every week, and now here we are 20 some years later. And you see these leagues popping up because of that. Talladega Nights was kind of sistered from them. PRL kind of took off from there. And now here at ASR, we have our own series. And we really have Dave Cannon to thank for that. RTG, Rolling Thunder Gaming, not just them, but the entire community has just suffered a tremendous loss with this. So we, collectively as a league, we just wanted to pay tribute to him tonight. We're going to do a kind of a special pace lap for Dave. And Rodney Sollins, who's actually in here with us, I'm going to give the mic to him next, is actually going to be driving one of his cars. And he's going to pace us at the beginning, and we'll go over all that in just a little bit. You guys can show that live. But we just wanted to pay tribute to a great guy and to all our brothers over at RTG. And I did want to say this about Dave too. Every decision that he ever made concerning his league was also for the better of the community. He was one of those guys who just made it better. If it wasn't good for the community, then he wasn't having it. I had a conversation with one of his drivers just the day before yesterday, and we talked about how he would turn away these team races and interleague races because he felt it was, kind of a bad thing for the community to have leagues going up against each other instead of, instead of building each other up, trying to tear each other down. So really just a lot of respect for this guy, and he deserves any tribute we can give to him. But I'll hand it over to Rod. He's going to be driving one of Dave's cars tonight, which we appreciate.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good, buddy.
Yeah, Bones, David Cannon, Bones, as most everybody knew him, is probably one of the most selfless human beings ever to walk this planet. I'll run out of words, I'm sure, but this man was just he's what I hope that I can be one day. We've talked so much about Dave over the past few days, and some of the things that I've heard of different things, like he seen someone sim rig and thought their chair looked uncomfortable. He sent them a chair.
Really?
A racing chair. So I know someone years ago had a computer that went down, and I don't know their finances. I don't know how they were. I don't know what the reasoning was, but he wound up going in with another individual and bought them a new computer so they could continue racing, because that was one of the things that they like to do to get away from the world. And he knew that, and just things like that, man. It's that people didn't know. It's like the guy that drove the number 3. When after he passed, you heard all these stories about the things he did that nobody knew. And Bones was just like that. Just a phenomenal human being. Like Brian was saying, when it come to the Talladega Challenge, if there was qualifying going on, he'd be the first one to say, let me out of here. Let somebody else race. I'll just watch, or I'll go watch TV or something.
That's true. I've seen him do that. That's true.
Yeah, he just, and I used to beg him, race. I said, I appreciate what you're doing. The community appreciates what you're doing, but race, get out here and race. He does so much work behind the scenes for RTG in general. He just does so much that we'll never be able to replace him over there. Never. There's no way. It's going to take all the admins and staff and probably some drivers over there to even try to come close to trying to fill his shoes.
I'm thinking
it's not good.
of, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm thinking of the workload over there with all the administration staff that they have. If now that Dave is gone, you're going to need 3 or 4 new people to replace him.
And that's absolutely correct. I mean, everything from handling the books, the finances, to all that stuff, to paying some bills, to contacting Brian. I think his name's Brian over at RLM, when things were going down, and then working with him to keep this going, and it's kind of like Brian was talking about a while ago. He would get with other leagues and, want to make sure that the community was still going. And he didn't mind. He didn't mind people at RTG advertising their leagues. He didn't want it to interfere with our race nights, but he didn't mind you if you had something happening on a Saturday night. Yeah, advertise. If you get some people from the sim community to go to your place and race that night, have at it. It didn't matter. Rolling Thunder Gaming was his baby, one of his, him and several people's baby, but he's the one. Him and Prime are the guys that I know of now. But he was the backbone of it. There's no doubt. I think Prime would tell you that. But that's just the way he was. He wanted the sim community to thrive. And whatever he could do to help that, that's what he was going to do. And he wouldn't think twice about it. He's going to be missed. Not just by RTG, but the man's going to be missed by the community, period.
Absolutely. Like I said, if there was a sim racing Mount Rushmore, he'd be on it. He's like, one of the founding fathers to me. I don't know what the number.
Having the idea to run Talladega every week.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's like this series we're doing now. We're only 7 races into it, but hey, you're not the first one to do it. But looking at what they started. What are they in? Like, they're going into like season 66 with the Talladega Challenge. You know, it's clearly a formula that people are a fan of, and a great idea way back in the day coming up with that one.
Yeah, I was just going to say to that. I don't, Rodney, is that the correct number? Are they on seasons for Thursdays? Are they on season, what is it, 66?
I can't answer that with any. I don't know. I know it's season 66 for Rolling Thunder Gaming. Rolling Thunder Gaming came from another series, I think another league, but RTG started like 20 something years ago, and I think the Talladega Challenge was a part of that. But I can't speak on that for sure.
Because I'm looking at Seth's broadcast last Thursday, season 65, race 14, Talladega Challenge.
So yeah, so I'm not trying to wrap this up by any means, but I also wanted to include Sean Prime and, you know, all of his brothers over there. Is like Rodney was saying, their administration and staff and everything, they're just top notch. I mean, that is top level sim racing. If you're a points racer like I am, because I was going to mention, I actually raced back when it was season 46, 45 and 46, something in there. I raced with them a couple of years, and I don't know why other leagues didn't pop up back then. It just seems like within the last 3, 4, 5 years here, you know, these Talladega leagues have popped up. And so Dave was, you know, in that aspect was ahead of his time, you know.
Well, you wonder too, like maybe other leagues didn't pop up because, like, oh man, we can't beat that product. Yeah, but it's like you said before, it's not a competition. Bring it on. The more the merrier. Let's do it. You know, maybe you can't beat the product, but you can definitely join in and try.
I think way back in the day too, that I don't know if East Coast Thunder, when they were around, if they were a part of that and then kind of broke off and did their own thing, like Rodney was talking about. You know, Dave was always all for that. You know, you know, if it's better for the community, then yeah, go do it. You know what I mean? Let's build each other up. You know what I mean? Let's get more involved.
He's one of the first persons that'll offer up a server in TeamSpeak if somebody wants to hold a race or a special event on a night that they're not racing at RTG. He's like, you know, yeah, here, use our server, use our TeamSpeak, get her done. You know,
the ALS race is a good example of that. He, for Kelly Causey, running that benefit for ALS we've done, it was held at RTG, everything, TeamSpeak, servers, all that stuff was donated by him.
Yeah, it's great. I wish I would have known about this league when I was racing back when the old Burnt Screwdrivers team was started up back in, I don't know, 03, 04 when we started. And then a lot of us, I know I left for about 15, 16 years to raise my daughter, and she played high level travel ball. But when I came back, I went to Afterburner, and then this Talladega Challenge had me interest because I love Talladega. It's my home state. So, you know, used to go there as a family every year. But talked to Dave. He was the one who talked to me when I wanted to come back driving. And the dude just like welcomed me in like he'd known me for this whole time. And we hit it off well. And I've known him now for, you know, knew him for, was it 5 years now? I think I've been back racing and talked to him often. There's a good chance that me and another guy were the last people to speak to him on TeamSpeak Wednesday night. That's been kind of beating me to death over the past few days, is because he said, I've got to go. I'm getting out of here. And as far as I know, he signed off. And then it was the next morning when we got the news. So I'm like, God, I wish, you know, I wish I'd have known.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Rodney, for your loss, especially. I know you're an admin over there, right, on Thursday nights?
Yes, sir. I'm a co-admin with Josh and Tim.
Okay, so yeah, if I could just talk on that actually for a second. That's why I'm kind of feeling really blessed to have Rodney in here, and just grateful that he's doing this for us and for Dave. Because I know you guys were close, and I really feel like, I think we're just about over the fence here as far as this series here continuing. And it was born from, watching you guys on Thursday nights. We've corralled here some of the most elite drivers on the web. And even though that's true over here, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what they've got over there on Thursday nights at RTG. It's incredible. Just the outpouring that's been this week. Some of the tributes and stuff, but especially that one Thursday night was just, I was wrecked. And it's going to be, like you said, that there's nobody can fill those shoes, and it's just going to be such a hard void to fill. So again, collectively as a league here at All Stars, we just want to, just give the family, friends, all his brothers at RTG, the entire sim racing community, our deepest condolences. And, it wouldn't be right if we didn't do something for this guy, because he was it. As far as when you thought of sim racing, he was one of the guys you thought of.
Yeah, speaking about Thursday, the Flat Out Racing broadcast live on that day, flawless execution by Seth and his team, because that came out of nowhere. Like, they had to do that on the fly, and I think they hit a home run. That was crazy. Yeah. Everything, I was talking to Metallic and Sullins and asking them about that, and it sort of just all happened organically, and it just all fell into place perfectly, I think.
Yeah, I know from earlier that I know Sean Prime will not be watching live tonight, but when he does watch, I just want to tell him, man, to get some rest, and we're here for you. Everybody in the community is just rallying around this league and you guys, and we're just so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, second that. Prime's got his own things going on, and he's kind of feeling the brunt of this. And of course, I think him and Bones talked every day, so he's having it tough, obviously, along with all of us.
Yeah, so our thoughts and our prayers go out to him and all you guys at RTG. So yeah, you will see. I don't know what car it is. I haven't actually seen it yet, Rodney, but you're going to see him driving the 003, Dave's old number 3 car tonight for him. So yeah, we want to wish you luck with that.
Thank you. This is a car that I did for him after one of his NXS 20 cars that I painted for him in the Speed Freak series, and we just carried that sponsor over to this. It's a Monster Energy something black. I forgot.
Great. That's even better that you painted it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a transferred scheme from my NXS 20 that I did for him. So I did this one, Ultra Black, I think is what it's called, Monster Energy Ultra Black. It's a Laguna Chevelle that I did a lot of work to the template that somebody had created, and I added some stuff to it. But and of course, it's got Marvin the Martian on it. There wasn't a paint job that was complete until Marvin the Martian was added to the car, which is why his memorial logo has
trademark. Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thank you. I hope I do him proud. If anything happens tonight on the track and it was a great move or something brilliant, it was him. If I wipe out half the field, it was me. So
now I wasn't going to bring this up. I was, just to change gears here, and we'll get into tonight's deal. But before you go, Rodney, real quick, I just wanted to get into, and I don't want to jinx you, but
just you're on that.
You're on it. Yeah, you are on a 3 blown motor streak now.
Oh no!
I didn't see what happened in the second race last night. I kind of turned it off, but I saw you blew a motor in the Daytona race over in another league last night, and I thought, my God, that's 3 in a row.
Yes, I blew up from first place, second place, third place. Honestly, last night at Talladega over there, I thought, well, if I blow up in fourth place, I've hit the cycle. So. But the funny thing is, I actually finished fourth, ironically, in that race, but I didn't blow up. So that's I thought Seth might interview me because I finished the race first time in a couple of weeks.
All right, man. We got about 2-3 minutes to go here for qualifying. So go grab that pole, man, and make our pace laps even easier. Go get it.
Yeah,
Get 'em,
pressure. Too much pressure.
No pressure at all.
Have a good night, guys.
Is Nate
Thank you.
Balser here? Nate Balser's not here. He might be able to do it.
Well,
right.
I should be able to get close then.
Okay, I'll be joining you guys in a minute here for the drivers' meeting during happy hour.
All right, well, good luck, Rob.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Rodney.
much. Thanks, guys.
Rodney Sullins, at 38, is going to be driving the 003. But yeah, so the plan, did you want to go over the plan for the beginning of this race, Brian, real quick?
Yeah, what we're gonna do is when we take the green flag, we're gonna have Rodney after the stripe. Rodney's gonna come up and pace us under green around the second. Once we cross the stripe the second time, he will get back in line, and we're gonna do like a missing man formation during that pace lap. When we come around to the third lap, it will be an audible lap by one of the admins here. We'll yell green, 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 and that's when we're actually racing. But the third lap will be a silent lap for our friend David Cannon
Nice.
and our brothers over at RTG.
So we do the parade lap, do the green flag lap will be under pacing, and then when we come back around, we let her rip. So I guess that,
Right, yeah.
And then that third lap will be, the silent lap will actually be like an active lap.
Yes, yeah, it will be. But and you guys can go. So you guys can do what you need to, or whatever. But for us in the race room, it will be a silent lap, no talking.
Okay, yeah, now we'll be quiet too. That'll be cool.
We're going to get the green once you guys hit the start finish, then it's a silent lap.
Then hopefully by lap 4,
We're still running.
Rodney won't be blown up. And,
Yeah.
Right.
The camshaft
Poor
stays
guy,
in one
I tell you
piece.
but he's coming off actually 2 wins in a row, getting to the meat and potatoes of this thing tonight. Here we are, race 7. We've got one more to go after this. I am your points leader by 20, and that worries me like you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
I'm shaking more and more as we get closer and closer. But
Well, yeah, because you only got 29 points over Rodney Sullins. pretty
yeah,
close.
exactly. Yeah, I think Mike Mangialardi is actually up there in second.
Yeah, he's second with 20, and then Rodney Sullins is third with 29 away from you. So
Right, and he's coming off 2 wins.
yeah.
So against my 1 win and top 10 finishes, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's we still have 2 to go. The number 18 car suffered a pretty good blow last week with that late race penalty. He couldn't serve. It cost him a lap and cost him a ton of points. Yeah, and he was up there in second. So, I mean, anything could happen. There was a big points movement from last week from the previous week. So we're still in it, man. I'm just going to be just hanging on and just trying to finish at this point.
All you can do.
If Rodney, I'm losing the car here. If Rodney does the pace lap for you guys, does he that second lap around gives him a chance to slot back into his qualifying position?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hoping it's the pole because we've
yeah.
already told him, we're going to be, because he's in the points, he's very much in it. So with his number being different tonight, there might be some adjustments to the point standings, but
yeah, we're watching him rip around right now out there in that cool looking number 3.
Get the Martian on the back.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's still anyone's game up here, man. The top 5 guys, they're going to be doing math in their head after tonight, especially. And then we're off next Sunday.
Yep.
Blaine, I think you guys have another commitment over at SMO Racing
Correct.
League, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I believe their annual Hawk tribute. That's always a good one.
Yep.
Okay, they're just now going into qualifying. So I'll stay in here, but I'll be right back with you guys.
Yep. What a fitting tribute to a guy that's done a lot for this not only their own league, but a lot of leagues.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave was an important member of this community, man. I mean, it's not just for RTG, but for everyone. That's a tremendous blow, man. That's a big void to fill, and I like Rodney was saying, I don't. It's going to take a lot of them just to fill what he did, just for that league as a whole.
I've raced over there at Rolling Thunder a little bit with them, and the only reason I didn't stay was the mod they currently used on Monday didn't agree with the computer at that time, and I actually got it fixed since then, but I haven't gone back. But I haven't really been racing much. But they're a great league over there. Love the way they officiate things. They do things the right way. Really good group of guys.
Another thing, I probably should have touched on this. I do have a minute or two here. They also came up with over there that Challenger series when they ran their Aero 88 series over there. I actually won 2 Challenger championships over there, and what that is a series within a series. They take the guys who haven't won, or maybe they're not that experienced, or they're not prone to being racing in the front. They take those guys and they run a separate point system for them. They still collect they all race together. There's separate point system. Okay. Right.
Yeah, like if I was racing with those guys, I'm never going. You can't win against some of these guys. They're so good, right? But like you still have a chance to win that Challenger trophy and I like the name of it too, because it's not like the bottom of the ladder, like the bottom of the barrel champ. It's like the bottom of the barrel series. It's like the Challenger series. Like you guys are in here with us. You're not winning as much, but you're still kind of fighting each other amongst all the all-stars, so you can still race with these guys, these top tier guys who are really, really good, have thousands of laps and thousands of hours, and still come out of there with an award, And then you're still that group of people can be a pretty amazing group of people also.
It really, for me personally, some of the things that they did over there that they pioneered, especially that Challenger series, because they named it perfectly. Like you said, it challenged you to do better. And they also did that 4 tire set thing where you were only allowed 4 sets of tires during a race. They put a cap on that. And that really taught you how to save your stuff. You know what I mean? And that taught me in turn how to become a better driver. And I owe all that to, guys like David Cannon and Sean Prime and those guys who run that stuff over there. That's just the elite top shelf league, in my opinion.
It's the bar, right? And they still use NASCAR Racing 2003 season, where like FSB is another league that's been around for a really long time, but they've abandoned this now. They're all iRacing now.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Or they still do it, but they don't broadcast it. But still, right? Like these guys I don't believe Rolling Thunder will ever let go of NR 2003.
At any rate, guys, I gotta jump out of here. We're just about to begin happy hour. I haven't turned a lap or given these guys any kind of driver meeting direction, so I gotta jump out of here. Thanks for being here. I hope we put on a good show for you guys. And
good luck.
Godspeed, David Cannon. We love you, man.
Good luck.
Thanks, Brian. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here you go. Thank you to Rodney and Brian. Yeah, it's a great little pre-show there for you.
Unfortunately, Sullins did not get the pole. Third, but he did not get the pole. Greg Palmer took that away. Second is Ken Roberts. Then Rodney Sullins, Mike Vangelardi, and Chuck Teaser, top 5. We ran a league that did something very similar to that, what he called Challenger Series, but they did it where they did one night, which was for somebody who had not won a race in the other one of their series and had not won a championship. And although what they did similar to what they did all the drivers were allowed to run 3 times. So in other words, if I had never won a race or championship, I ran the whole season. But you being a champion, you could come in and race at least 3 races in that series. So you could pick 3 races that you wanted to come in and race. Same idea, a little different.
Yeah, amazing to me the amount of ways that leagues have figured out how to really involve everybody, because like a guy like me, I might not be able to make it every time. I haven't raced in months, but if you were able to make a couple races a month, you could still pop in there and there might still be something for you, like that Challenger Series. Like, okay, you're not maybe going to go and be able to make every race and go for the points and get the main deal. But there's that Challenger Series. It's like you're still in there and you're able to fight these other guys. And
people keep
or
coming
like the
up
one
with
you
different...
just said, it's a little bit of a modified version of that. And it's super cool to see, like, it just being able to involve everybody, especially for how popular some of these leagues are.
Yeah, and I tell you, people just keep coming up with different ways of running this series, and I tell you, it's some of the weirdest things you'll see. But I run on a league on Wednesday where it started out where you only got the tires you started with and maybe 4 extras. You could use them however you wanted to. If you didn't use them, you got a 1 lap penalty. Well, now they're over there doing it. Now you have 8 tires, or not 8. I think it was 8 tires, maybe. I'm forgetting exactly the amount now, but you only can change tires under green flag conditions. So that's even adds another element to it. You can pit, get fuel, fix your damage, and all that. But if you take tires, you got to go back in and do a drive-through. But if you don't, and then you got to pit under green, man, I'll tell you, you want to talk about ringing your head around, running around and around and around, trying to figure out the proper strategy. Oh boy.
Yeah, because if the race ends up being prone to cautions, you're not changing tires.
Yeah, well, the first time I went there, they run 2 races a night too. The first race, we had, I think it was 6 sets of extra tires. 6 tires, extra tires, not sets. I went in and only took, I burned the tires up early, went in, so what I did is basically went in, took fuel, fixed it, I didn't have any damage, but, fueled it all up, so I didn't have to worry about that. Came in, took 2 right side tires, figured, that'll just get me in and out. I just barely lost a lap, no big deal. I was a lucky dog next time around. I never changed tires again. But it was all because just the way the cautions fell, I ended up finishing 3rd.
And that's a neat thing too, having 6 tires.
Yep.
On behind the wall. When you start the race on the 4, you got 6 extra ones behind the wall. So you could change right sides 3 times.
Yep.
You could change right sides twice and left sides once, or
yep.
So, but it's
however you want to do
counting. It. Yeah, that's neat. Or take a full service and then you've only got 2 left. What are you going to do?
And I usually only change them if it was just it was more of a situation where you weren't going to make it on fuel. So might as well throw 2 right sides on and side some fuel in it and go back out there. But
that's it.
Go ahead.
No, that's just cool. I like the tire leagues. I raced over at Fast with Randall Coleman, and that's the first time I'd ever experienced the tire count where he would give you 3 sets.
Yep.
But yeah, super cool.
Although you've heard me talk about it before, the American Online Racing, they actually have that so that he can tend to decide how many sets of tires you have, and you will get penalized if you exceed that number, and he doesn't have to lift a finger.
So to get the stats, how do you pull the stats on that? How do you know a guy didn't cheat on tires? Is it a race
because the
replay
computer
analyzer? Is that?
Yeah, it's. Remember I told you these guys had figured out a way to use the replay analyzer in real time.
Right.
Incorporate to a website. So it's all on the website. The website starts the server. The website runs the server, clears black flags.
This is your buddy who, you told him, man, you got to sell this because this is one of a kind, amazing thing.
I told him, you got to sell it. And he goes, no, I don't want to. I'd have to support it then. Great. Amazing. It's an awesome program, and it works really, really well. But
so that's neat, running it through Race Analyzer, and then you can see, this driver on this stop did this.
Drivers.
Looks like we're gridding up. Just reading the YouTube comments here live. Grant Wesley, rest in peace, Bones. David Cannon. Ron Hagelin, well said. Rodney, rest in peace, brother. Jason Sheck. On behalf of Rolling Thunder Gaming, thank you for the kind words and the tribute. And Mr. Prime, well done, thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys, for watching. We'll do our best, that's for sure.
Prime, he said Prime wasn't going to be here, but
he's watching, though.
He's watching. Got the old Boudreaux's butt paste on the pole.
Of course, of course.
Now, the good news is for Rodney Sullins, Greg Palmer is not in the points. And so these are two guys that will work together throughout the night. They usually, kind of stick with each other and run well together. So that should be a plus for Rodney Sullins in the Bones car. And other than that, we've got a lot of other still heavy hitters out there too. Some of the best in super speedway racing out here tonight. So never count out Ken Roberts and Mike Mangialardi. These guys, some of these guys I don't know. I've been watching. I raced with Dennis McCarthy quite a bit, but the more I watch them, you can just see how much better, why they're here and why they do so well. This is a pretty sharp looking Monster Energy car though.
Yeah, super cool.
Sullins does really good work.
I was wondering what they had for Canon when it came to the Euro 88 mod, because we're looking, the one on the bottom corner of the screen there was painted by Rodney as well, and it's from the ALS races that Kelly Causey was holding. And it was super cool that Tarnation TV got a chance to call those live. But I'm thinking, well, it's not going to be that car, because that's what is that? That's a Monster Energy NASCAR, what is it? Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 2019 car. One of the most complicated mod names on planet Earth.
Like he said, with a modified Laguna body, he gets in there and tweaks them a little bit, and just to add subtleties to him that makes them look really, really cool.
That is cool. I like what he did too. I don't know if you saw the back of the car, how the bumper almost looks like it's chrome, right?
Yep.
So a simulator this old, it doesn't do reflections, but texturing.
Yeah, you can make it look at it.
Makes it look like you did.
And he does just phenomenal work on. Look at every little detail. You got like the old school pinstriping, the Martian on there always, but Rodney does just incredible work. We're getting now ready for the tribute lap.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Tarnation TV, All-Star Racing Super Speedway Series. Here's the first green flag lap as they part ways. And Rodney Sullins driving David Cannon's car around for one extra pit lap, pace lap, pit lap, parade lap?
Parade lap, there we go.
It's going to be a challenge, much like the Talladega Challenge.
There you go. A fitting tribute to Dave. I like I said, I didn't know him all that well, but I raced with him very little bit. But we did the LAS races with him. He's done a lot of stuff for a lot of big stuff, good stuff for the community. So, like some of the things that Rodney was saying about him that I didn't even know, helps a lot of people out and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, there's the classic camera behind the Sunoco sign. Custom camera pack.
Get the look at it there when you get that front view going on there. Like I said, the old school pinstriping, and does a phenomenal job painting cars.
Yeah, like you said too, modifications to the actual templates themselves.
Yeah. So if you look at, I think there's he's not here tonight, but Denny Carroll actually runs a Laguna, but it has like a chrome bumper in it. Where he's kind of darkened out the grill a little bit. Just have to go through, and you'd have to really kind of pay attention to somebody that had also running one of those. So
that's a pretty cool sight. This will be the silent lap. Next time around at the stripe, we will go green. Oh, yeah, you're right. The silent lap is the third lap. We're on our way to the third lap.
Grid up.
Is that what you were saying?
We'll go green, but it's a
I messed it
silent
up.
lap.
Yeah, we're still under pace speed. I forgot. Yeah, they got to do this extra lap. Makes sense because it allows Rodney to get back into his spot. Like Brian was saying too, it would have been a lot easier if Rodney just qualified first. So, come on, Rodney, what are you thinking? Qualifying third. Wow. I see you. My cat broke into my room. She's going to try to eat my headphone cord. And Edward. Orange cats usually aren't girls, but this one is. So, by the way, this is race number 7 of 8. Next week, join us right here. We'll be going for the championship. Brian Wolf has a pretty good lock on it, but you know what? Never say never. There's enough people that show up to this thing every single week. Anything can happen. Brian's been pretty consistent the last few weeks. He's sort of locking down that first place, but sort of remedy our mistake. I'm blaming us, Rod, not just myself. It was my mistake. This is lap number 3, and it will be our first green flag lap of the evening, and it will be a silent one in honor of David Bones Cannon. So we'll talk to you again shortly. There we go. And we use the neat little blue screen right there. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. My microphone off? Oh, it is. My microphone's... I'm talking to myself over here, buddy.
There you go. All right. There we go. Okay.
Wow.
So,
all right. So, yeah,
Palmer
I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, but you can't hear me, and then it took me a second. This is the first time I've ever done this. Welcome to the broadcasting channel. We just created it yesterday. Apparently, I've been doing it for 5 years. Every once in a while, I forget to push that button. Go ahead.
You did. Anyways, Greg Palmer got a great start at it there. For a minute, I thought he got too much of a good start, but Rodney Sullivan's getting behind him. Ken Roberts, Mike Bangelardi, and Sonomic. Why can't he say his name right? You know. But anyways, they got in a good start on the high side there for a minute, but they got the middle part of the track going good. So currently, Greg Palmer's out in the front with Rodney Sullivan's right behind him. Chuck T back there in third. See what you mean by the Sunoco sign. Just happened to look over at the broadcast.
That's the thing. Yeah, I had the replay set up so I could focus on the 3-car during the silent lap.
Yeah.
And then clicked it back into live mode again, and we're trapped in behind that Sunoco sign, and I thought I broke something. It scares me. The blue screen, right? You get that Windows blue screen. But, I don't know why it spooks me sometimes.
Dax, Robert Breedlove, Brian Wolf trying to make something happen down there in the bottom groove. Got a really good run on the backstretch. Kind of broken up that move. Whoa, careful here, careful. Ooh, that was close. Chuck T, Jax almost come together. Rodney Sullivan's dropped down to try to see if he can't use that momentum they got going. Greg Palmer went up to the high side up behind Ken Roberts and in front of Ken Roberts and Mike Mangialardi. Why can't I say his name today?
Simonic.
Simonic, but I just can't say it. I don't know why I couldn't say it.
Kind of like
Hold on, I
demonic.
get it. Yeah, I got it. Wait, I can fix that.
Blue screen.
Nice little refreshment.
Yeah, I hope we pulled it off for Brian what he wanted to do with the silent silent
plenty of
lap and
silence.
everything. So yeah, I kind of messed up the timing there on the first one, and it's funny when the pressure's on. Like I could sit here every week and just do a race, but then when you've got something like that plays heavy, right? So I'm trying not to make a mistake, and I probably made some mistakes, but I think I think everybody knew what we were trying to do.
Yeah. Okay, just think about it. Come tomorrow, nobody will know.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I always point it out. Like even if I make the mistakes, nobody even notices I made the mistakes. But then I can't keep quiet. I have to point my mistakes out, even though nobody's probably even realized it. But,
Mike Mangialardi.
Mangialardi to the bottom.
Got a run. Simonic decided, looked like he was going to go with him, and he didn't, faked him out. So
Yeah.
you're going to see Mangialardi go back for a little bit till Ken Roberts gets up behind him.
Well, Wolf and
Brian
Taylor are
Wolf.
right behind them.
Yeah. And then you got Chuck T back there. Now, the top line is getting broke up a little bit, so that could be an advantage for that bottom one. A lot more three-wide racing tonight than we've seen them attempt it, but they've never really gotten that many cars on the high groove like they have tonight. It seems to be working.
Yeah, this version of Talladega, it can be done, but people really don't try it. Because on Friday with the trucks at prime time, you'd get 2 or 3 guys up there and they could hang.
Yeah.
Here
that's
they fall away. But that's a different track setup over there. Look at that top groove. Actually, 2 of them actually cleared Palmer, I believe. Finley and Simonic.
They actually have a track that the third groove works really, really well. So, and unfortunately, I hadn't been able to get over there with you on Friday, but which kind of bummed. I like them. That group of guys. They're a pretty cool group. I know them all. So
great race.
Broadcast.
Like 76 lap race. They only had 4 yellows, I think, and the week before they only had 2. And Graham was actually telling me something like they've raced, I can't remember how many laps, 27 caution laps in one weekend with 400 and whatever laps they ran in the whole weekend. Only 24 of them were under yellow. I was like, holy moly, dude. That's an all-star team over there.
Well, that's all they run, too. Mm-hmm. They just pretty much, they have...
Look at these guys. Oof.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday, I believe, is all just super speedways. It's all the same track.
Yeah.
And then Monday, they did have, I don't know if they still do. I know Mondays they used to do an Aero 8 series that, ran different tracks. And then Chris Elliott and I ran the original Cup series on Tuesday that, would run the original tracks.
Right, yes. Stock tracks.
With the exception of Daytona and Talladega.
Yeah.
You get enough of it during the week, he was like,
no, you don't super speedways.
Rodney Sullivan's trying to make a move down there at the bottom. Got a really, really good run off from Greg Palmer. Now, remember we talked about before, we've seen these guys work together. Wouldn't be surprised maybe if Palmer lifted a little bit and let him up in front of him.
Doing that, though, you got to make sure that Mangialardi, Finley, that they're not too close because they need room to do that too. Right? You lift too much and you stack the lineup. That's not good either. So we're early in the race too. So I'm sure they'll just bide their time.
So I practiced with them a little bit earlier when I could, just for fun, get a few things. They can do about probably 28 laps in fuel. Running this far hard and running wide open. So. Ooh.
Talking about how it's super early, but, about half a lap ago, he pulled up in front, just like you said.
Yeah. When you race with some of these guys long enough, broadcast warm long enough, you sometimes know their tendencies,
Well, Roberts is another one. He's going to want to get up with those guys there, too. But he's got Brian Wolf and Chuck behind him.
The only difference between Roberts, though, Roberts is, in the hunt for the championship. I know I'd have to look real quick to see where he is.
speaking of Wolf,
He is
where did I put
fourth.
it? Sorry, Ken Roberts is
Fourth in points.
Mangialardi's second. Wolf is first.
Only
And
30 points out, so...
Yeah.
Yes, he'll help Rodney Sullins as much as he can, whenever the circumstances, allow it, and it'll benefit him too. But he's also out here trying to go for the championship with 2 races to go. I should say 1 3/4, because this is the 7th race. They got 1 more to go that will be airing live in 2 weeks. Hopefully I can get home in time.
Hopefully. There's a stat I updated there. There's only 2 of the 28 drivers that have raced in this series have completed all 396 laps, which is 1,053 miles. In the first 6 races, Brian Wolf and Chuck Taylor. Last Sunday, Brian was down a lap or 2, but got lucky with a couple of lucky dogs and actually stayed on the lead lap. It was, they finished on the lead. These are the only 2 drivers, you're looking on both right now, that have finished every single lap. Mangialardi is 1 out. Mangialardi had only 395. So he finished one race a lap down, and that put him off that list. I thought I was going to have to shrink the list, but those stats I send you, they give you some pretty neat different angles.
It's kind of neat, though, that it makes for better racing in a roundabout. Yeah, we want to see more people out here, but when you start getting into the 40 to 40, 40 card fields, you tend to have a bit more cautions.
Mm-hmm.
So, and unless you've got a really, really core group of people that are really good at super speedways, but.
Well, and you've seen, even at RTG, that's a good group, but when you have a 40 car field, the bump drafting, you can't run this close. When you're bumper to bumper and you're 20 rows deep, a little bump draft, by the time you get halfway through that field, that bump draft is amplifying, right? It's turning into a wave. Yeah. And by the time it gets halfway through the field, it's a tidal wave, and then it knocks a bunch of guys out. Where here, there's only about 20 people who started the race. There's more breathing room. So there's more room to see it happening. Maybe you can move a little bit, lift a little bit. You can call it out. And it doesn't take everybody too long to react to it.
You'll see a lot more of that with the accordion effect.
Mm-hmm.
Accordion effect, you go down through, and it may be a bump or 2 for the first 2 or 3 cars that are involved in it. But as it gets further back, it ends up usually causing the worst wrecks out of it.
Like here, if I was on the track right now and you're running in the middle and you come off turn 2, and that's a good spot to start bumping onto the back straightaway. Maybe you don't get your bump in until you're past halfway down the back straightaway. You wouldn't want to do that on a 40-car field, because then that bump would cause problems to that tail coming through that corner.
But what
here
also
you could get away with it, because if there's only 6 cars behind you, then they'll figure it out.
But so what also happens there is, so you lift to not hit that guy,
Mm-hmm.
which causes that guy behind you to have to check up. That causes the next guy, and it can get worse and worse as you go down through the field, and sometimes causes those big ones.
Because eventually, if you're just going to if you have to blip the throttle to just kind of give just that hair of space, the guy behind you, it's a blip, and then another blip, and then maybe almost like a lift or like a complete lift. Eventually, somebody's going to have to push on the brakes, so that's a more jarring checkup, right? So then that just, like you say, it goes from a blip to a full-on brake check, and now you're getting in trouble. Because now you're dropping 5-10 mile an hour, and it just, But then again, it's a different style of racing. Same track with more people. Turns into a whole different style of racing. Today, 17 drivers started the race. Usually
all 17 are still going?
20, 25. So not too far off the average.
And there's still 17 going, and the last one is Brian Lawson right now, and he's 0.79 seconds behind. So everybody's right there together. We do have a new leader. His last 3 laps, Ken Walters got a good run on the high side there. We saw a little bit of Greg Palmer kind of moving down in front of Ed Finley because he had a great run on the bottom. Going to see Walters go down. Rogers go down. Roberts, you see, I did that again. Rogers going down in front of Greg Palmer. That's where the momentum was, so they win.
And now we're flirting with lap 19 right now, so that means, oh, we got an engine out.
Ooh. Looked like
Black
Brad
cloud
Rawson.
in the back. Yeah, was it Rawson? It was a white car. Green still in the air.
Ooh, this is ASR DC 88.
Oh, David Chin.
That's right too, David Chin.
Yeah, the sponsor of the whole entire series, actually. Yeah, this, as you can see, bottom left-hand corner of the screen every week. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales bought this entire season. So, yeah, thanks to All-Star Racing and David Chin for generating the money to hire Tarnation TV to do this.
He has not had the greatest of luck this series that we've been in since and ones of the races that I've been on.
Where's he currently in points?
Let me find that out.
Roberts, followed by Sullins and the Boudreaux's butt-paced automobile driven by Greg Palmer. Finley behind him, Wolf behind him. These guys are lining up to pit.
Currently 15th in points, 86 points out. And we're starting to see green flag pit stop. They could go a little bit further on that, but maybe they practiced, they might have had it on 1X and then they switched it over to 2X.
Possibly, yeah.
You got Ken Roberts, Rodney Sullins, and Greg Palmer, three of the guys we know they're all going to try to work together all night.
I am directly underneath the butt-paced car.
Dennis McCarthy, Jax, Brian Wolf, Polstow, John Godfrey. Some taking only 2 tires, some taking 4. Can't give you all that information. I was busy jumping around. And the rest of the field is coming down. Chuck T there saw a blade of grass out on the grass out there standing up a little too high, so he took that out for us.
There's the rest of the pack. Yeah, let's see. Chuck T, Breedlove, Ross.
Just a little bit he got, but yeah.
Otto in there, Simonic as well. All in
Just taking
flawlessly.
right tires.
Yeah, this isn't much of a tire eater of a track. Rights, I think, will be the most popular change just because...
Well, take one side at a time.
Right.
And the reason you do that is even though if you got to take 2 cans of gas, you can take 4 tires and fuel, no problem. But should you have a tire hang up or whatever, that could really hurt you.
Right.
Led by Brian Wolf currently would be the first car that got off pit road or out in front while we were watching the other guys come off in a pit road. I think he's going to be your current leader, possibly. The guys that pitted a lap earlier kind of got, they just got a really, really good run in and out. And they stayed kind of together, but the second group had a little bit more spur apart. Sometimes pitting earlier here is a benefit, sometimes it's not. Greg Palmer, they got rid of Brian Wolf as leader. Ken Roberts got out there in the front, but
Yeah, he was there for a second. I don't think Wolf actually got credit for leading a lap, though. He got out in front of everybody, but he didn't actually get the lap led.
he did not.
No, it doesn't show that he actually led a lap, which is weird because he came out of the pits, but he must have been behind somebody.
Oh, you would still have the cars that were
in front of him.
Still out there.
Yeah.
When they go into pit, all them cars that go by will take over the lead. So then when he comes out, they haven't come back around yet. So.
Right.
They've been shuffling them around pretty good. We've been trying to keep track of the pitting and who's done this and what, and they keep kind of switching around positions and such. I think. How many laps has Greg Palmer led? 9, so he's led the most so far. 10 now.
Well, I got your hosts tonight are Blaine and Rod, and our next broadcast is right now, according to that text. We always forget one portion of the broadcast to update. Join us next week right here for race number 8. Not next week, the week after. The 20... What was the date on that one? 24th. A lot of racing. I can't keep track of all of us.
Yeah, well, we got 3 nights a week going right now.
There's a few. And people are calling for more, so we're popular, buddy. Keep your schedule clear.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to wait for more clearness until about mid-October.
Yeah, in October, I don't broadcast anyway. We're just going back in time here to focus on David Chin. Where that thing let go.
Drop the valve. Now they shuffled them around again. We still got Ken Roberts out front. Rodney Sullivan second. John Godfrey third. He's managed to sneak his way up in there. Mac Paglia fourth. And Greg Palmer's been shuffled back to the 5th position. Right behind him is Dennis McCarthy. Then comes Brian Wolf, Brian Rawson. Pretty much the first pack. Second pack is about... Nope, Jax is still kind of hanging in there.
Just barely.
Second pack is being led by Robert Breedlove. They're about almost 6 seconds away.
That is a very cool car from Breedlove. That retro paint job that he's got. I'm digging that thing. I love all these cars. I love how when you run the Aero 88 mod, everybody's going to lean on very simplistic and in like a retro style.
2 of them that go a little exotic, but no, for the most part they all do that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The good thing is they've got 5 cars back there with Breedlove.
Yes.
So you've noticed, I said they're about 6 seconds. They haven't really lost a lot of time. They lost a lot of it probably coming in and out of the pits. They do have, 8 cars up there in difference to where there are 4. But they were running pretty close together until Chuck T just had a little bit of an episode.
Yeah, Taylor just had something happened.
Yeah. But they keep running the way they're running. They're not going to catch him probably, but they're not going to lose as much time to them, and they're just kind of hoping that maybe a caution comes out and that they're not involved in, and that'll catch them back up to the field.
Yeah, it would be a full minute difference before they actually, what's a lap? About 50 seconds, right? So
yeah, about
if they're sitting about 5 seconds even right now from the leaders, so they're pretty good. They can, like you said, they can just maintain that gap. And hope that the front gap hopefully the front pack starts racing each other, They
are, so that's what I was just going to get at. If they can keep doing what they're doing, running straight, running nose to tail, and just trying to keep in nice and tight, maybe a little bit of bumping on the straightaways to get that lead car going a little better, because the guys up front, they're too wide, they're racing, they're swapping out positions left and right.
Now they're doing some 3 wide stuff.
Now they're even 3 wides. That's going to even slow it down even more.
Yeah.
Rodney Sullivan's coming through the middle with Brian Wolf and Jax.
This is cool. It's 3 wide, 3 deep.
Yeah.
All 9 cars just doing even Steven right now.
But you also get a chance to see grooves better in a way, because they're showing you what groove's going to be the quickest out of all of this when they're all evened up like that. Now, Jax would. I was just going to say, if Jax would get up there and tuck in behind Brian Wolf, but the back 3 cars have all kind of had to back off a little bit. Yeah, it's neat. Oh,
I'm showing Rawson. He's actually...
Wow, that was incredible save by Mark Paglia.
Yeah, and I've got internet issues on the Rawson, that number 6 Bud car, and he somehow... It looked like he took Paglia out.
Yeah. He just kind of flipped out, disappeared.
Yeah.
Kind of gave Paglia a shove in the rear and kind of disorientated that top line quite a bit.
Maybe they both had an internet issue at the same time.
It's the only thing that really sucks about online racing sometimes is you'll have that happen, and it sometimes causes the big one.
Yeah. much like anything, and I remember reading like Rolling Thunder's rule book. It doesn't matter if it's an internet issue, that's just considered a mechanical failure. Like if you have an internet issue and that's your responsibility, even though it's kind of not your fault, it happened to you. So, stuff like that, you'd have to get blamed for it.
Just shows you the talent that Mark Paglia has of getting hit middle of the corner, still driving through it. And yes, he lost a little bit of time out of it. I'm sure he had to lift, correct, and maybe ask for some depends when he gets in there on the pit stop. But yeah, he saved it and kept on going.
Well, Rodney's father, Al, is in the YouTube chat, and he says, thank goodness it wasn't Rodney. He's had enough of those. I was going to say, David Chin had the engine failure tonight. Rodney's had a lot of engine failures. It just seems to be, sometimes you won't see an engine failure for months. And now we've had one tonight, and Rodney's had two this weekend, so.
Luckily not in this. What happened to him 3 weeks ago is the transmission lost fourth gear.
Yes, forgot about that.
Then he turns around and comes back and wins 2 in a row,
So here's that second pack we were talking about a few laps ago. Their gap right now is less than 3 seconds. They are catching.
Because they were running nice and tight, and the guys up front decided to get racy. If the guys up front had just decided, all right, well, we're going to let you lead, and we're going to just go, they would have never caught them.
They're rated you now.
You give them about, if they keep guys running to you by side up here like they are, and you probably, the rate that they're going, maybe 2 or 3 more laps, they'll start to catch that draft. They got to be within about a second behind them. So right now they're currently just over 2 seconds.
Right.
So if they can get in that within that second, you'll see them just climb right up there really, really quick. So I think we're going to be pretty close this time, just from where I saw where they are at.
A second and a half, maybe. Yep, 1.76 second gap.
Next lap, if these guys up front keep racing like they are, they'll be there. As soon as they get in within that 1 second, that draft from that lead pack will start pulling them up even there more. And you actually could probably watch their speed just pick right up.
Yeah, they're in there now.
They're running 100 and 200 miles an hour through the middle of the corner.
Yeah, I was going to say it was 202 right here almost. Breedlove's car. 201 going into the tri-oval. I'm curious to see what's going to happen now. They can almost just drive by these guys. They've got so much momentum coming. Oh, then they kind of fanned out.
Once you get up to them, now, they're not really getting the draft behind them. But
it looked like McCarthy wanted to maybe join that line, or he was just giving them a little bit of a shoulder block. He didn't take the lane away, but he's like, you know what? If you want that spot, he's going to make it tight.
And the other two drivers that still are out there on the pack that must not have had a very good pit stop was Mike Mangialardi and Ed Finley. They are just by themselves about 20 seconds back.
And Jax is probably, where did he go? Is he in the, I think Jax is actually in the.
He's in the lead pack.
In the lead pack, yeah. A lap down in the lead pack, yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's in the lead pack, but he is 1 lap down. He's in 16th position, right about there beside the 28 of Mark Paglia. And we've noticed that Mr. Roberts and Mr. John Godfrey have claimed that yellow line again, which we know that means pit stops are probably just around the corner again.
Pretty close.
Because they went in a little early last time. Lap 18, was it?
Yeah, but like I said, you can, if it's 2x pit, you can get 18 to 19, depending on where you're at. So, like, if you're Ken Roberts and you're out leading the whole race, your fuel mileage is not going to be as good as for, say, Mark Paglia, 3 cars back, because he's going to have to lift a little bit more. Where if you're out there in the front leading, you don't lift at all. So.
Oh, the old 34 there just wonder if he decided to just do a little bit of a leapfrog there. He pulled out a line. Maybe he hears the leaders calling for pit stops and doesn't want to be in the way. That's a possibility. Laps led tonight 11 by Ken Roberts, 11 by Greg Palmer, 10 by Rodney Sellens, 2 by Adam Simonic. Findlay has led one. Paglia has led one as well.
Man, I don't know if I really want to say. I really don't know if I want to say this, but
Go ahead.
Caution free.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Option free already. Fastest lap so far, and that doesn't surprise me. 200.419 miles an hour by Robert Breedlove. And I guarantee you, if they'd give us the lap if that was on, it would have been the lap that they were behind all of the cars headed, catching up to him.
Right.
Guarantee you that's when he got it.
Yeah, because he would have had a mad push from the 4 guys behind him
Plus
into
mad
the draft.
pull.
Yeah.
Plus mad pull from the cars in front of him. You see Ken Roberts has got his way back out there up front. Rodney Sellens, Greg Palmer, and then Ken Roberts is back there in third. Got to be thinking about pit stops, but that could be where we see the 3 cars down at the bottom in the front there. We all know they're going to work together in some capacity. They might be thinking about it. Keeping an eye on the chat. See if they post it. But it is getting close.
Yeah, we're getting into lap 40 range, which means they'll definitely have to pit one more time, at least. Well, one more time is all they're really going to need, actually.
Right.
But depending on race conditions and some strange strategies, I've seen weirder stuff happen.
Okay, so Rodney Sellens is pitting. We got a bunch pitting. 47, 16. Bunch of them are pulling off the pit. Oh, geez, Brian Wolf. He saw a lot of grass he didn't like.
Yeah.
But he did the smart choice. Instead of trying to make the pit, which would have gotten him a black flag, could have got him a penalty, may have been a drive-through, he elected to stay out and just go. And I heard in points fetch for sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Everybody
want to ride along with Robert Breedlove, maybe get inside the cockpit, do some crank it up, and see what it looks like coming down the pit road.
No, we got people they're all taking 4 tires, so I just want them to know. No. So Sellens and Palmer took 2, Roberts took 4. Yeah, go right along.
That was close. I jumped inside the cockpit of Breedlove, and he just about got tagged. Oh, he did get tagged. He held on to it both times.
He's going to probably be doing pitting here pretty soon. But, yeah. Oh.
You got your game in live mode? He's already in the pits.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that, but I'm looking at with the guys after they come off pit road.
Oh, gotcha.
Figured he'd be coming in. You're going to be doing a crank it up with him pitting. You get to hear the lug nuts.
Yeah, I was going to do it, but then he got into a little bit of a situation there, so I decided to just keep talking.
Now the question is where do they come out in comparison to the leaders? They're still out on there. They lost a little bit of time. If they can get right in behind them. So the guys that made it out of pit road really good, Rodney Sellens and Greg Palmer and Brian Rosslin. Now they only took 2 right side tires, so that gave them a little bit more of a better release. You got Ken Roberts, Posto, Aglia, that group behind him that took fourth. And there's a little behind, they're catching up to him.
Rawson, even with that weird internet issue, he stays in that thing, and he's in third right now. That was pretty wild. That didn't cause an accident because that car, at least on my screen, was sweeping across the track. But the momentum with the 55.
Curiosity thing that's
pushed
got
by
me.
Postal. Yep.
You're going to have them guys all out there say they're going to start splitting up and whatever, just like they are. Now, you got Chuck T about 3 seconds back. Wow, he's got Breedlove. So they did not have a great pit stop. Of course, we saw him on the thing. There was a little bit of slipping and sliding and going along there, too. So,
yeah, getting in was a challenge, and then when they got down there, they had to compensate again. Nobody got into any really bad trouble physically.
No,
but yeah, under green, man, that's a big hit on time.
You got to get in, you got to get out quick, and no messing around. And any little bit of loss of time, even a slight overshot of your pits, or just having to brake a little bit more than you normally want to, can cost you time. And it really cost Chuck T and Robert Breedlove quite a bit of time. So they were about just over 3 seconds. Now they're 4, and probably are going to lose about a second a lap. Of course, that's going to depend a lot too on what these guys up front do.
Yeah, same situation we had before, right?
Yeah, they're back in. Now they're into single file format. I still think, because they pitted around lap 38, almost 40. That's 26 laps.
60-ish, yeah.
26 laps. There's still one more pit stop.
Yeah. They're going to have to go in again around lap 60 to make it to the finish, and then you get that 6-lap shootout, so they're not even going to need full service.
No, they'll come in and just take fuel.
But what's the strategy, though? Do they run it dry and come in at 60, or do they go until they know they can make it and do a full stop? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, it depends. It literally depends on how much fuel you have. When you get it down to where, if you go all the way till we're going to be about 6 laps, maybe a splash of gas, maybe, half a can will do.
Half a can, yeah.
You don't want to come too early and put a can in and lose that much time on pit road. So, to me, I think I would go as long as I can.
Right. I'm just wondering, if you had enough buddies that wanted to come in with, say, 15 to go or 16 to go, because you could probably get 18 or 19 on a run. So then this would be like they went in for full service, and then maybe they only drive through half of this cycle. Gives you a little bit more than 6 laps to make a move. But then it's also Talladega Superspeedway, and making moves occurs, in a bump drafting situation. So you might want to stay with the majority.
You wouldn't go full service, though, because you'd still only need maybe a half, maybe a can. You'd only do 2 tires and get in and get out. But you'd have to do it with guys that are going to get in and out of there, and then you guys have got to just tuck in line and go.
Right, yeah, you're right, because you won't be empty when you're going in. If you're going in with 18 to go,
right,
just to top everything up, that's still not a full stop.
Nope, you don't want to. You don't, if you don't have to, when you get down to these last little green flag ones, you don't change tires.
I mean, which would technically, we're talking about it, which would be right now, really.
Pretty close, yeah.
Like if you could go in, like this is lap 46, 47 right now. We're on lap 47 currently.
Technically, you could make it on fuel probably one more lap, and I think you pitted, then you can make it on fuel. It'd be a commitment from, you don't want to do it with 5-6 guys that are, really good drafting together. Yep.
Yeah.
And you got to also remember, they got to go through guys that did a pit cycle. They got what I always call the delta time, getting in, getting out. You get one guy that's, doesn't get in and get out really good. That's going to mess things up.
Right. Yeah. If you do have 5 buddies, you go down 6 cars deep, but then a couple of you mess it up.
Ross is
Then-
having internet issues, and he just pulled up off the out of the racing groove. He's just, was focused on him. He disappeared a couple of times, and I think he decided, nope, I got to get out of the thick of it. I can just stay right behind him, and just a smart move on his part, not to cause a big wreck.
David Cannon's car going to the bottom, driven by Rodney Sullins this evening.
2, 2, and 3. So Dennis McCarthy has got a really good run going up there with Ken Roberts and Postal just pushing him.
To the lead he goes.
And that's going to be his first lap led for the night.
Yep.
Really broke up the rest of the pack.
It did, yeah. In half a lap, everything just completely changed. There's Brian Wolf about to go a lap down.
Fortunately, he had to do a little bit of his second job of landscaping.
Yeah. And
Went out to manicure
that stat before. Where Wolf has completed every single lap so far as of right now. He's got to find a way to get that lap back to keep that stat going. So Sullins is now back there in 6th place.
We have currently 4 laps of cars a lap down. Brian Wolf, Mike Mangialardi, Ajax is not. I think that's Brian Otto in the 34, and then Ed Finley, who just had the bad pit stop there.
Oh, did Otto go a lap down?
Yeah. Which is Ajax?
Jax is a 34 and Otto's a 47.
That's right. Okay, so it was Ajax. Sorry.
Yeah, their cars look similar.
Very. Now we got a new sheriff in town, Dennis McCarthy. Postal hasn't gotten out there and led a lap yet. Neither has John Godfrey.
The 55 goes underneath McCarthy. Postal sticks with them.
But you got more cars than, well, you did have. Aglia decided to weigh out the odds and said, I like that bottom line better.
Here's a neat stat involving Mike Mangialardi and Rodney Sullins. Mangialardi currently in 2nd overall in points, and Sullins is 3rd. Sullins won last week, so he jumped 5 spots up to 3rd from 8th. But then you look at the laps led. Sullins has 134 laps led, and Mangialardi only has 6. But it's just the consistency in your finishing spot, right? Because Sullins hasn't run all the races here either.
Yeah. Mangialardi still, usually he's right up there. Just, he had a bad pit stop. We didn't really know. We didn't, go investigate what happened to him, but I'm sure that, somehow something got messed up. He lost a lot of time coming in and out. And hard to make it up, especially when there's no cautions. So now we're getting down to 14 to go. 14, 15-ish. Be interesting to see.
53.
Interesting to see if people do what you think some of them might do and just get together and go pit, or everybody just goes as long as they can and just takes a splash.
Right. So I'm thinking, really we're thinking lap 60-ish is when everybody's probably going to come down. But who knows? That you could go anytime and have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So I don't know. It depends on
the team, the guys that you around you, because you're not going to do it by yourself.
Yeah, and how comfortable you are going down with a full pack toward pits under green.
You saw Breedlove and all them guys. They just formed up, made a 5 cars draft. They really ran pretty tight, and were able to run down the leaders because they were running side by side. So
who's on pits right now? Finley, Otto, and there's that other pack there. Chuck T, Mangialardi led by Robert Breedlove. That's position 10, 11, and 14. So probably
Gotta do what you got, something different, because you're not gaining right now.
that'll change, right? Yeah, it will. So Mike Mangialardi's in 13th. Chuck T's in 11th. Well, I think there was a race at the line there coming out of the pits. That's why the positions look a little bit messed up. But these three guys are still on the lead lap. Oh, wait a second. Nope, Mangialardi's a lap down. Brian Wolf's a lap down. Oh, okay. It's a little bit mixed up back here then.
Yeah.
Here's the main pack. Back to the main pack. Just keeping an eye on that other one. So we've got 9 cars in the main pack. Mark Paglia, John Godfrey, Greg Palmer, Dennis McCarthy, Rodney Sellens, Adam Simonic, Brian Rawson, ASR Postal, and Ken Roberts. You see Rawson being pushed by Simonic and Sellens. To the front.
Hasn't led a lap yet, so hopefully he can hold that off.
He's come close. He's come close a couple of times. It looks like he's probably going to get it this time around. Brian Rawson in the 6 to the front.
Monic's led 2. That's important to some of these guys if they're trying to move up in the points.
Mm-hmm.
Any points you can get, that's going to be a plus. And the great thing is he did it under green flag conditions, and with the trouble he's had a little bit with his internet tonight, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, like even with the internet issue, I mean, they just ask you kind of pull out of the way and go to the back, and he's still in the front right now, so that's pretty awesome.
He did. It straightened itself out, and away he went right up towards the front.
Now, if he's on Wi-Fi, he finds out somebody was warming up a coffee in the microwave. There's some splaining to do, Lucy.
Either that or somebody started streaming.
Yeah. Or downloading Battlefield 6, only to find out you got to reformat your hard drive because if it's in master boot record, it won't work.
Oh, God.
Ay, ay, ay. That's the error message I got. Because it's open free beta this weekend. I'm like, I got to do what? I'm like, I don't even play the first-person shooters, but it's free, so I'll try it.
I was going to say, you play different games than I do then.
Testing mode, yeah. I'm like, everybody's bugging me at work. Oh, you should download it. I'm like, I don't even play it. I've never played a Battlefield game ever in my life, but I'll try it, right?
I have a little bit.
They're like, you got to go into your BIOS and make sure your motherboard's set to secure boot, which it is. But then if your hard drive's not formatted into like GTP or whatever, well, my hard drive's master boot record because it's got my operating system on it. I didn't know it had to be formatted different. Sorry. I'm not playing your game. I'm playing this one. Watching Brian Rawson lead this thing. A lot of different leaders this evening.
We have, actually. Simonic and then Rodney Sellens and Dan Cannon car there tonight, right? Currently in 3rd. Getting down to it. Oh, Greg Palmer. A bunch of them are all going down pit road. Whole bunch.
Whoa. McCarthy got squirrely, but they gave him room. That's an awesome... What an awesome job by everybody involved right there. Holy moly.
Let's see who that leaves out. He was still on the lead lap, but he was wheelbase back. Finley and Breedlove, they had both pitted, so I think they already done their last pit loss.
So Rawson in and out in the lead.
Oh, he got in and out of there really good.
Yeah.
Might be a little too good, but...
Might be a little too good. I was going to say, if he gets too far ahead, he's setting himself up for a slingshot. He's way out there.
Got about probably 8 laps to go. They're going to catch him.
Do you think he got enough gas?
I don't know.
A can and maybe needed a full can like everybody else?
You got Rodney Sellens They're not really formed up yet. Remember, it takes about a good lap to get these things up to full song.
Mm-hmm. He might, I don't know, do you want to maybe lift a little bit and let them not get together and then blast past you?
If you do that, they're going to get there quicker, and then you're going to be slower. Kind of had a feeling that they were just going to blow by him.
Oh, Pagley going to help him out. Give him a little push right there. Simonic put some wiggle on him.
Simonic made a quick move.
Pagley had to make a quick move. It looked like Pagley wanted to get in front of him.
That puts Rodney Sullivan's, Dennis McCarthy, Greg Palmer, Brian Rossi fell back to the 4th position. That's just pretty good for him. Mac Paglia, Ken Roberts, Simonic, John Godfrey kind of fighting back there. And Postal's behind both of them, looking for a place to go. Brian Wolf's behind them all, but unfortunately for him, he is one lap in. No, did Brian lead a lap at all? No. Now we're getting down to it. About 5 to go. Business is what they call picking up.
Yes. So nothing out of the ordinary. Everybody just took that tank right to the bottom, and then they just tossed enough gas in there to get to the end. The question is, did they toss enough gas in there to get to the end? Like, if you went with a splash, I don't think a splash is enough at Talladega.
You'd know more about that than I would. I'm not a great racer at this track, so
I don't believe a splash. A splash of fuel here on 2X won't take you the 12 to 13 miles that you would need to get to the end of this. I don't believe they'd need at least half a can.
Now what you're going to see is that number 3 car is going to start to become very, very wide. Wherever the momentum's coming, he's going to be going to. But we still got we're around 5 laps to go. Anything can happen.
Man, that's 3 in front. It doesn't matter if it's a tribute. They're not going to let them win.
No.
Bones would not want that. If you can take this guy, they're going to take him. But, I mean, Rodney's not easy to pass.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean...
He is a great super speedway racer, so...
Yeah. He's been here a couple times. Every rendition of Talladega. And they all run very differently, but...
Ooh! I thought Ken Roberts and Greg Palmer were going to trade a little bit of paint there.
There's the push. It's a great camera angle on the back straightaway for watching those bump drafts. We got to watch right here, too. We've got Ken Roberts, Mark Paglia, John Godfrey there on that bottom line.
Fortunately, they got to get some people behind them, give them a little more of a push, because 3 against 4, the 4 cars on the high side are going to get them. I was surprised. I thought McCarthy might have made that move down in front of Ken Roberts, but he didn't. Downside is that gate, but I knew Sullins was going to come down. I say, left Sullins out there kind of hanging. He did what I figured he would do. Is as soon as that momentum from the bottom come up, he was going to go down to that. He'll keep an eye on what McCarthy's doing. If them guys get a good run, he'll just go up to the high side there. Got more cars currently on the bottom. John Godfrey and Postal coming into the fray there. I don't know. We're going to be about 5 on 5. Brian Wolf and Simonic decided to go to the top side.
Remember, too, Brian Wolf is a lap down, but not damaged, so he can assist in this lead pack drafting. Ooh, Paglia got a little squirrely there on that bottom line.
This is the part where I don't know if I can hold my breath this long.
Yeah, we're coming up to the final lap here. White flag is up. So when the 3 car...
he went up to the high side. Momentum started building up on the high side. He jumped there.
Yeah, the 3 car takes the yellow, or takes the white.
Gonna be close.
Rodney Sellens will be 1 lap away from winning this thing.
Oh! Palmer tried to make a move.
Driving David Bones Cannon's car.
Yeah, now we're on the last lap.
Rest in peace, David. His cars are still getting driven.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
They're around. There's a blowover. The 024 is upside down.
Gotta race
And
back.
He is continuing to be upside down. Racing back to the checkered flag. Race will end at the line.
Now, the question, now you're going to see Sullins really drive out of that mirror because of
Man.
coming down
Palmer
to
going to
it.
bump, but that outside line's coming. Paglia might get him.
Oh,
Like you
boy.
said, how wide can we make that 3 car?
Wow! Paglia
man.
gets second, Palmer gets third. Wow.
He kind of did a neat little wiggle where, like, he kind of blocked both lanes at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It looked like he kind of just did a shimmy back and forth, and both of those guys weren't sure what was going to happen. But man,
Oh.
what's the time interval on 1, 2, 3? 0.03,
well.
0.07.
We got our winner in the Dave Cannon car at 178.657 miles an hour. Second place is 0.034, and third place was 0.373.
Wow.
Not very much.
Basically all 300ths of a second away from each other. Put the flag in the hand of that guy right there, Rodney Sullins, driving the 003. The Bones car.
That's actually
And Bones
pretty
was
cool.
around. Bones was around long enough that he probably had a paint job in every single mod on this thing.
As Rodney said at the beginning of this thing, he goes, if I win, he says, Dave's been driving the car the whole race. He goes, if I screw up, that was me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you've got Paglia and Palmer, and behind you, like all those guys, McCarthy, unfortunately got tangled up in that. They're not going to let that guy win that thing. It was close.
Very close. Let's see if we can get Palmer down here and have him start off our interviews here. Greg Palmer, Rod Weston up in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. Sound so excited.
I was just talking on whisper to the guys. I told them to shut their mouths.
You kind of come in here just to sneak up the show every once in a while, you know. You always run good at the Superspeedway stuff. I've raced with you a long time. Done plenty of broadcasting with you racing as well. So, not all in all, not a bad night. You got kind of shuffled around, led. Let me see if I can remember exactly where. Yeah, you did. For 19 laps led, so you got the most laps led of the night.
We were just having fun out there, trying to mix it up a little bit. We didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves in front of the second pack. We wanted to make it an interesting race.
You always make it an interesting race, that much is for sure.
Thanks, but we were having a good time out there, talking to each other on whisper, and having some guys lead some laps, and we're having fun. In the name of Dave Cannon, man, we miss that guy so much. I'm glad at 3-1 tonight.
Yeah, I figured you showed up just to help push him to the win, maybe.
And it's between you and me.
Yeah, I know you and Rodney, and I think it's Ken Roberts and Paglia. You guys always seem to kind of work together a little bit, so.
Yeah, we have a good time. We try to make a good time of it, and we did tonight. So, hats off to the 28, the 6, the 55, 003, Rodney driving that car tonight, the 024, Dennis. We had a good time. Love racing here. And John Godfrey, too, 7-Eleven.
I was pretty tickled that you're up there finishing the third. I figured you were going to, stink up the show tonight, but All right.
I was shocked I got the pole. I was really shocked. I figured I'd be like maybe 7th or 8th, but that blew me out of the water.
Oh, that's kind of what I thought. I said he's going to come up here, he's going to stink the whole show up, and you ran good all night. I mean, you were up there all night. You just hard to get the right people behind you, and there was a lot of jockeying tonight. It was just normally you guys will run a little bit. They do that a little bit more on the restarts, and then they kind of settle down. You guys never really settled down up there all night.
Yeah, like I said, we were just trying to keep it clean, keep it close, have decent pit stops. I think we all had decent pit stops, and just to come out in the top 5 and top 7. So the plan came to fruition.
That's awesome. So I'm going to give you a chance to thank the people that got you here, buddy.
Hey, everybody. Glad you guys are in the booth. Thank you. I see Blaine's mic is silenced. He never liked me anyway.
No, he's always busy trying to do all the after stuff. So, he does a great job with it.
My dog is scratching, and you can hear her leg bouncing off the floor.
Oh,
That happened last time too, I think.
She was barking, yeah. And then now she's scratching. It sounds like somebody's hammering a sledgehammer outside the window.
All right, continue, Greg. Tell us your sponsor.
Yeah, my teammates and Rodney for painting my car. My teammates, John Godfrey, Mark Paglia, and Ross in there, and Mr. Roberts, and DMC there, the 024 Dennis, and of course I just mentioned before Rodney Solon's of painting. Probably all of these cars are in here, almost. But yeah, we like coming here to ASR. We're gonna make it a plan to come here every Sunday, and make the most of it. Maybe win a championship.
There you go. That's awesome.
And one more thing, like I said before, Dave Cannon, we miss you. We love you, man. And we'll see you in the next life.
There you go. Our third place finisher for tonight, Greg Palmer, and the Boudreaux Butt Pace Chevrolet.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Greg.
Good job, Greg.
So, our second place finisher for tonight, for once there, I think you had the save of the race. And that would just be Brian Rawson had a little bit of internet issues there in the middle of the turn 3. And I don't know how you managed to save that.
Yeah, it was pretty scary, wasn't it? Yep. But I know Brian's been having a little bit of an issue, so I was being prepared if anything went bad, that I'd be able to, make some moves and not get wrecked.
You ran most of the night up front. I mean, you guys, the guys that lead pack pretty much stayed good. I mean, it was caution-free race. That's pretty awesome. You're always usually super duper good at these super speedway stuff. I don't know how you do it, but I like to see you out here running. Are you running the full season on this one?
Yeah, I plan on doing it. I got lucky and won the very first race of this new league that Brian has started, and I appreciate Brian starting it. And I haven't had much luck through the rest of the season. I've been up towards the front, but I just haven't been able to get another win. But I'm so glad that Rodney won and David Cannon's car. That was really the plan. I got up next to him, and I wasn't quite sure I was going to make an actual effort to pass him. I just wanted to make it an exciting race for TV.
Yeah, there you go. It says, currently you're in 11th in points. A little bit out.
Yeah.
Still got one more week. Third place in points is going to help you out quite a bit, Yeah, you can't. You're not going to catch that Brian Wolf and probably Sullins, and Angel already took a hard hit tonight, so I think things are going to change up the front except for the leader. But I'm just glad to see you out there race. It was a good race to watch. We'll let you thank the people that got you here, and we'll get on to that big winner of the night, Rodney Sullins.
Well, I want to thank you, Rod, and thank Brian for putting this on for us. It's been a blast on Sunday nights. It's hard to find a good place to race on a Sunday night, and all my teammates I ran with tonight. And again, a shout out to Rodney for driving David Cannon's car. It's a big loss for us, but Rodney did him proud. So thank you.
There we go. Our second place finisher tonight, Mark Paglia. Congratulations, bud.
All right, thanks.
I wasn't here last week, and so I understand you went and won. Is that correct, Rodney?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I wasn't here last week, but I see in the standings you won, so this makes 3 in a row.
It does. It makes 3 times. Yeah, I won twice, and tonight Bones won.
Absolutely, because I remember what you said earlier. If you mess up, it's your mistake. If you win tonight, it's all Bones. So that's pretty cool. You ran up front most of the night. You know, you did not. I think you got 18 laps led. So Greg Palmer actually beat you by 1 lap.
That rascal.
That rascal. Yeah. And then I think it was who got Ken Roberts got 16 laps led on the night. So that's some bonus points that hurt you a little bit. But with Brian, he didn't finish that well. He was still up there. Let me check.
You looking for Wolf? He finished 11th. Yeah.
He finished in 11th. So and Mangialardi seeming to have not a very good night. That's going to help you out pretty good in the points with 1 race to go.
Well, that's interesting. You know, that wasn't a part of the plan when I started this season, and you know, I've missed 1 race, so never thought I'd be where I'm at now. But tonight's a good night.
If they do the points, it's the old school points. You might come out. You'll be pretty darn close, if not the points leader in my books. I think. Depends on how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't even, you know, like I say, I didn't start out this season worried about points. I just wanted to come out here and help Brian get this thing going with ASR and Bryant, you know, for sponsoring this thing. I mean, that's really cool. So I just wanted to kind of help get it going, you know, and that was the plan. So being here in this position is unexpected.
See, if you now would have kicked that transmission builder's butt about 3-4 races ago, you'd had 4 in a row possibly.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I got a
dominating that one.
DNF and a no-show, so I'm really lucky to be where I'm at.
I think you're doing a heck of a job. So, Blaine, you got anything you want to add?
Oh man, I'm just watching you drive that 003 car, man, and we're going, well, these guys aren't going to let you win. And it looks like you kind of, they split you coming out of turn 4 into the tri-oval there. You kind of just give them a little old left-right shimmy, and it flared everybody out enough to win that thing by, 300ths of a second? And like Rod, we were both saying, that car is going to be super wide on these last couple laps. So that was a nail biter for sure.
I was straight mirror driving, just watching and seeing the lines come, and I would change and move down when they got a little messy behind me in the second lane. Then I went down and it got a little messy, so I went back up and back down, you know, just doing what you got to do for these things. And you know, I had an extra spotter tonight, so, you know, it was a good time.
Did that car feel good, eh? Like you just knew you'd be able to hold it and hopefully nothing would blow up. Enough engine failures for everybody to get that out of your system, and then it's like, oh well, here we're coming down to that final pit stop, because we were curious what was going to happen if some guys were going to maybe pit early, knowing they could just maybe take an extra half can or whatever, but you guys basically just ran it until you needed to pit, eh?
Yeah, we got within a lap or two there at the end and decided to go ahead and come in, and we kind of went at one point when others started going earlier. I mean, it's a good night. Just things worked out on pit road. I didn't make any mistakes. That was good. I thought I did once. I thought, no, don't give me a black flag. And I didn't get one. So I kept hammering down. You know, that first pit stop, I think I came out a second And I 1.7, 1.8 seconds behind everybody else, so I knew that I was going to get just smoked when they caught up. But it was a good night in the pits. Just driving this, I'm going to tell you, I felt like I had somebody sitting on my chest the last 10 laps. I mean, I heart was pounding. I couldn't breathe. This is an honor, but I'm glad it's over, man. I'm glad the race is over. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter how many times you come out here and race. It's like driving that specific car. You're like, oh man, it's almost like your first race again. You're trying to remember where to put your hands on the steering wheel and where to go on the track, and it's a weird. I'm sure it's a weird feeling.
It's an extremely weird feeling. Like when I won there after the checkered flag, everybody was, congrats this, congrats that, and I couldn't respond. I just drove around there at a slow pace. I didn't feel like doing a burnout.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, you just parked it out the line, and I just flew around it with the drone camera, and I was like, he's not doing a burnout. That's cool. Just park it.
I wanted to sit there and just gather myself, honestly. I mean, I think y'all could probably tell in the pre-race that I was starting to get a little emotional at times because of this man's car that I'm driving. And
I was going to say thank you for not doing a burnout, because sometimes we can't see the car because of all the smoke. So at least this time I was actually able to get some cool shots of the rig too, and it's a different kind of tribute. Some guys will run a lap in reverse. Some guys will drive backwards. Some guys will plant it in the wall, and do a burnout that way. Or it's kind of neat just to watch a car roll up and stop.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Didn't know how to, take it and everything. This is odd. This is an odd feeling. It's very different. I still have my board over here where my whisper buttons are, and I still have the one that's for bones. And I look at it every once in a while when I'm racing, and I see it's still there, and I'm, there's nobody going to be there anytime I ever press that button.
Yeah, I had a guy at work. It was funny. We were talking about people when they get near the end, and how he had a friend or something where like his dad would call him, and his dad had like dementia, right? So he just knew the speed dial button. Somebody would answer that button. And he was saying like his friend just didn't want to talk to, because it was just a conversation that went nowhere. And I said, but that's your father. And then he said the same thing. He goes, yeah, I couldn't understand it. So like his father got sick, and he would sit down and watch the football game on Sunday and spark up a J or whatever and call dad, even though he had like the dementia stuff. He's like, but I got to sit there for hours and just talk about whatever the hell I want. And his like siblings I think it was his siblings. It might have been his siblings. Didn't want to have anything to do with him because it was, well, he's gone mentally. He's gone. But it's still your dad's voice on the other end of that phone. Like, just get on there and talk to him. Who cares what you talk about? Talk about the Flintstones. Who cares? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. He goes, I loved sitting there just watching the hockey game, watching the football game, and for 2 or 3 hours just with dad on the other end of the phone talking about absolutely nothing. But then when he's gone, you don't regret not picking up that phone because you don't want to talk to a sick man. It's like, how about you just talk to your father? And it was kind of a weird little conversation that a cool conversation, because I would kind of think the same thing. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you just talk? And like you guys did with David, you've friends for so long, and everything was normal. You know?
Hey guys, I'm so sorry to bust in here and interrupt you. I got to get up to the replay. Yeah, sorry about that. Man, Rodney, I wanted to pop in here and tell you congratulations, man. That's 3 in a row on the series, but more so, I wanted to thank you, man, for doing what you did tonight, driving David Cannon's car. And then we couldn't have, I knew we wanted to do something for him and for the guys over at RTG, but we could not have storybooked this any better. For you to win in his car tonight as we're doing a tribute for him, even though, our tribute, wouldn't match what they did Thursday night. And those guys just orchestrated that thing just so beautiful. But man, it was a thrill to race tonight with you, especially 3 in a row, man. That's wow. I was up there. I won't lie to you. I was up there trying to manipulate that outcome, being a lap down, because my race literally went through the grass. But real proud of that race. They, went green almost the whole entire way. We had some good 3-wide stuff going on there for a while, and it was exciting. And for you to win that in the way that you did tonight it was special, man. And I'm glad that we got to even be a part of it. So congratulations, Rodney. I got to get back up there, and we're off next week, just as a reminder to the viewers. And then we'll be back a week later for race number 8, where I believe the points are going to be a lot closer now.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, because you've got Rodney winning the last 3 races, and Brian having an 11th place finish tonight. Rodney, you're breathing down his neck now.
I've won the last 003 races.
There you go. There you go. Well, yeah, that's how fitting is that. But just glad to be a part of it. And then thanks so much for everybody for coming out, viewers for watching. I'm hoping maybe some of the RTG guys will get a glimpse of this broadcast, and we're going to press on. We sure are going to miss that guy, but I know what he'd want us to do. Man. Kind of speechless at this point, so I'm going to get out of here and go do the review, which shouldn't take long. They're probably already done, but congratulations again, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks again, Brian. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. Sorry, to Rodney there. I was kind of just chatting. I was just kind of off on a tangent there, but life's short, and then we do what we do, and luckily you guys' time with David was, it was time well spent. I mean, I only really got to talk to him a few times, but every time I did, he was fantastic. Especially, in the ALS race, the RTG facilities we just had our way with that place. It was awesome. They're like, yeah, you want to use our servers, you want to use our TeamSpeak, you want to use our track, you want to use our guys. Always very generous. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's all about the sim community with him. And, like I say, I became acquaintances. I can't even talk right now. We became friends, 5 years or so ago. And like I told you, when the first time I talked to him, he just kind of gave me the rundown of RTG and how their expectations are. And it's like he had known me for 20 years, just welcomed me right in, said, go racing, that.
Yeah, I remember
it's crazy.
When I raced with them, when I got back into this thing after a bit of a hiatus, I went to RTG after, you float around with some little smaller leagues, and they're not as professional as some of these huge ones. And a lot of guys they're, there's too many rules and blah, blah, blah. But you need the structure, and that sets the stage for what you need to run a successful league. I mean, if you don't want any part of it, you don't have to race there. But I found them, and nobody knew who I was. So you got to get out on track with these guys, and oh yeah, man, you know what you're doing. What number do you want? Oh, cool. And then the next week I'm out on the track racing with these guys, and I stayed in the back. I didn't want to get into the mix because you're the new name on the screen. But you have to get out there with with Cannon and Metallic and Prime and all the guys who've been there to make sure that you don't go out there wrecking everybody. Like, you can't have a guy out here who doesn't know what he's doing. But once they see that you've got a feel for the game, it was like, yeah, man, glad to have you. Let's go. So even though in my eyes, it's like, man, RTG, like, they're the biggest league ever. They're not going to want me in there. Well, yeah, sure they do. You just got to show them that you actually know how to control the car.
Yeah, when I started the Talladega Challenge and running it, I just didn't qualify, got in the back, because they still qualified back then. I just rode around in the back, and man, I was scared to death. I'm like, and it was my like I say, it's my favorite track, my home track, on and offline, if you will, live and sim. It's my favorite track, but I was scared to death. Slowly trying to work my way up to fit in with the big dogs. I still got a ways to go, but they've all been great. I from Bones down. It's 20 plus years of making it work, and Bones having this person for this and this person for that. And I think it was Prime that said, there's something that each one of us has that he thought it brought to the table to make it better. And they all do. They all have there's something that they put forward to this. We've lost our godfather. I think they've been referring to him as the mayor of late. But
yeah.
He's without a doubt the glue that held RTG together. That whole, I say held. We're still going to be together. We're going to fight on through it. The guys are hurting. Some of those guys have known him for. I think Ron's known him for 3 decades.
Wow. Hagelin?
Yeah, Ron Hagelin. I believe he's known Bones for 3 decades, and that's I couldn't imagine. I've known Ken Roberts for 20 years, so I understand. Wow. A little over 20 years actually.
Yeah, like when I think about,
I get it. These are friends. These are family members. Me and Ken talk often on the phone. And Prime spoke with Bones every day. So I mean, he's a family member. Bones was a family member, and it's tough. I was just dumbfounded when I heard,
Yeah, like you think about, like, even like me with Brad, I met him in high school in grade 8. We do the math and we're like, yeah, we've known each other for 30 years. Right? Yeah. Like 30 years. Like, I was like, it's the longest friendship I've ever had. And the numbers you're throwing down are the exact same thing. Like, I couldn't even imagine what would happen. Because it is. It's like, it's not even just a friend. It's a brother. It's
exactly.
You can talk to those guys about the same thing you could talk to your actual blood siblings. Like, it's like they're family members. You've known someone for so long. Like, now that's a friendship I've had for more than half my life.
Yeah, it's crazy. That you can meet people doing this and be friends with them. And you know about their families, and what's going on in their lives. When they share what they want to share. Obviously, they don't tell you everything, but you still feel like you hear their voice. It's kind of like that. It's kind of crazy, but kind of like Days of Thunder when Tom Cruise is getting his MRI. He's laying there and talking about, there's a guy that talks to him, through his radio, and you can't see him, but he's there, and that's kind of the way it is with the sim racers. The sim community. All these people become friends, and these guys at RTG, they're my sim family, and I really love them all. Spend the time with them. They're great people. And Bones was our leader, and we've lost him, and it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's something the internet you know, like the internet has done that. It's brought all these people together, and it's so easy. You know, somebody creates this team speak thing. Where
Right.
everybody can get together and they can all chat while we're doing whatever we want to do, and it works
Roger
great with
Wilco.
these Roger Wilco, Ventrilo, whatever that one was called. I remember Roger
Yeah.
Wilco. That thing was a long while back, but it didn't take long for
That's-
people to start making these voice apps. You could talk to each other while you played your games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I stepped away from racing, Roger Wilco is what we were using at the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, I've used
So,
it. Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, fantastic race. I don't really know how to wrap it up. Do you want to try to do it?
Why don't we let him thank the people that got him here first?
That's what I mean. Yeah, maybe we just do the normal thing. We'll let you wrap it up there, Rodney, and then we'll shut the broadcast down, and we'll do it again next time.
well, you know, that's yeah. Let's end this thing because it's crazy emotional. Like I say, I've never had anything like this before. You know, it was crazy. At the end, my heart was pounding. I kid you not. I felt like, my chest was hurting. I'm like, I can't lose this. So I started doing a little bit more mirror driving and blocking, and I didn't want to obviously cause a wreck. And after the wreck out of turn 2 happened, I think some guys probably maybe could have made a move because they were kind of running me down. And I didn't want to do a stupid block, but I think Greg just kind of said, "Hey, I'm coming to get you," because I think they realized at that point that I was wanting to win and doing what I had to win. And I think at that point they wanted to, it's like Brian said, he didn't want me to, not because of the car and not because of Cannon, but just, we were racing for points. So yeah. That's great, but I really wanted to win tonight for one reason only. We know what that reason is to put that car, that man's name in victory lane. And I want to go ahead and just start it with the thanks. David Cannon, thank you for everything you've done for me and anybody else. You're a phenomenal human being. Brian Wolf, ASR, Blaine, you and Rod, Tarnation, Sean Prime, all the people at RTG, all the admins over there. I could go through them all, but it's somebody else's league, but still, I'm going to thank the RTG staff and admins over there. Though, because we're all hurting right now. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales for sponsoring this. Fluid Studios. Again, Brian Wolf, thank you for doing this. I guess I'll thank the people on the car, Monster Energy, for running this car again. It's been good. Cannon's family, our thoughts and prayers are with them. I hope I don't know if they even knew that we were running this car tonight, but we put Marvin the Martian back in victory lane.
Yeah, man. Awesome run, Rodney. And yeah.
Fitting tribute.
Yes. Fantastic driving, fantastic tribute.
Thank you, guys.
You'll get this championship now.
I'm going to try.
There you go, guys. There was our first place finisher tonight, driving the number 003, the Cannon tribute car for Dave Cannon. Your winner tonight, Rodney Sullins.
Thank you, fellas.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Rodney.
it. Have a great night.
Have a good night, bud. Look at that.
Great race, too. Racing was awesome.
You couldn't ask for a better race, like no yellow flags. We were looking at the stats. The yellow did come out on the final lap, so technically there was one yellow flag for 0 laps.
Yeah.
So,
Technically one, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, but one flag, but it no, you didn't have to slow down. So does it really count? Probably not, but it's on the card. So we'll say 1 yellow flag for 0 laps tonight. And we ran all 66 of them from flag to flag. 3 green flag pit stops, some really close calls. Even Chin early with the blown motor. You know, it's like
pretty good points checkup. Going into next
I'm
Sunday's
wondering
race.
about that. Yeah, that's unofficial, right?
Unofficially, but I bet you I have a feeling Sullen's going to be a leader.
I think it's going to be close.
I don't know how their point system goes exactly, so that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what Brian Wolf got. You know, we know Rodney Sullivan's going to come out with 180 points if they do it by the old school, 5. But depending on where Brian Wolf finished, he didn't lead a lap. Rodney did. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be unofficial results. We don't know. That the point system's pretty tight. It's like a 1-point spread between each spot. But then there's laps led, most laps led. There's all those other extra things too. So, definitely stay tuned. Next week, we will be, there's the schedule. On Tuesday night, we're at Indianapolis with the Maverick Cup Series. That starts at 8:30. On Friday night, we're back with Primetime Racing League Championship Race. That's August 15th. It starts about 8:45. August 17th, which is next Sunday, SMO has their tribute to William Hawkins. They do that race at Michigan, as far as I know. And then the week after that, we're right back here to figure out who's going to win this thing as race number 8 of 8 goes off, and that's the final race of the season. So that's going to be a tight one. Once we see the points, that's going to be definitely going to be a good one.
Good one to watch for sure. If it's anything like tonight, depending on how the points fall after tonight's race, we'll probably finish the race going, I don't know.
I think Rod and I will both have the calculators out going, okay.
Smoking.
Yeah, going, okay, if this happens and then that happens and then a guy blows a tire. Okay, we got to do this again. 1 second. So
it'll be like that.
Yeah, like we just figured out all the math, and then someone will blow a tire up or run out of fuel or something crazy. It always comes down to the wire, so it'll definitely be a lot of fun. But hope to catch you all back in a couple weeks right here, and then of course in a couple days and a couple days after that, and it's like a busy week, man. But we'll try to do the best we can. But yeah, man, you got any final words before we shut her down?
Just rest in peace, Bones.
That's it. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Mr. Cannon. He was loved by a lot of these guys, and it's very cool to see the number 3, as you can see there on screen, taking that checkered flag here at Talladega Superspeedway. Rodney Sullivan's driving that rig.